Okay, dual battery installation. Right, you see from my previous videos, this is a bit of a pain now to get on and off. You can see it's starting to, well, you can see from my previous videos, that's my UHF, and it runs down here. Oh, sorry, it runs, positive runs this way, and then around the back of the battery, and down there, down through the firewall like I showed you in the other video. Well, yesterday I installed the dual battery system. For that I've gone off this post here, okay, and I've run it around. This is just the positive lead behind here. Now I had to put a little bit of conduit on here because that's a metal bracket around this exchange thing. I think that's a fuel vapor exchange or some stupid thing. And underneath this part, sort of jammed it in there fairly well. And then when you close this, you can still close and click in properly. I don't know if you can see that though. It's very windy today, so I do apologise. This is bent up a bit like that, and I can't really do anything to fix it without cutting it, obviously, which is something I'm not, ready to do just yet. Okay, the negative lead for the dual battery system is off here. This one, which is straight off. That's the main earth strap there, obviously, and it runs above the conduit for the UHF around here. Now that's, as you saw in the previous videos if you've watched them, that is the fuse holder, the 80 amp fuse holder. It's a bit hard to see. I might get some sun in there. I don't know if that makes it any better for you guys though. Yeah, maybe a little bit. That's the 80 amp fuse holder. Okay, there. Now remember in the previous video I said I can't get that off with my hand. Plus this is just sitting loose, so you're going to need to carry something with you, at least if it does blow, to prise this open to change the fuse, because you get a spare fuse in the kit. I'll try and go in here. It's going to be, you can see that pretty well. So basically this is the connection off the battery. It just does a loop down here and comes up around to this Anderson plug. Now as you saw in the kit, this is that initial bit that you get with the kit, 80 amp fuse, and it's 2 rings to an Anderson plug. It comes, I've just put it in a loop there to the Anderson plug. I'm going to have to try and get up the engine bay. I don't know if you can see it or not. So you can see there, this conduit running down here is actually the main line to the rear of the tub, and I've just fed it underneath my brake lines there, and you can see that little kink there. That's it. Okay, running under the car. I'm just going to pause this and I'll just jump under the car. Now we're under the car. Now because I'm a fat guy, I couldn't get under the car, so I've had to take off the side step, but I've put it back on since then. So I'm going to try and see if I can show you. Hopefully it'll come out in the video. But you can see there, hopefully I'll just rotate it a little bit, that I'll pull it out a bit, you might be able to see it. Yep, there it is. So you can see that the conduit, which I covered the whole cable in, runs into the chassis rail, and then it basically just, it's been fed all the way down the chassis rail to the rear. Okay, so I'll just pause this. I'm going to have to pull the camera out from under here. But here's the underside of a Ranger in case anybody's interested. Fuel tank on these, you can see it over there, it sits on the left hand side, so it's not central to the vehicle. It does come over to the left. It hasn't happened with mine, but some of the guys on the forum can notice a bit of a lean when you fill her up, because that's the fuel tank there on the left hand side. And you can see I've only got road tyres on. This isn't lifted, like I said in my the unboxing video. I'm more stock. So I'll just pause this and then I'll show you where it comes in at the back. Okay, I'll jam her in there. Now, I know it's going to be on a bit of an angle. I'll try and keep it as straight as I can. But that is where it comes out. Now that conduit runs all the way in the chassis rail. I taped the ends. Now obviously this wasn't connected. You need to be aware of that. This cable here wasn't connected to the battery when I was feeding it through the chassis rail, otherwise obviously it would have been live. The way they prepare it, as you saw in the previous video, the ends are bare, ready to go into the Anderson plug. So I just heap of black tape on that, and I just basically ran a wire the length of the chassis rail, just a bit of fencing wire, taped it to the end, and just slowly underneath the car fed it through until it got to here, to there, and then I fished the wire out, got my wife to give me a hand, and pulled the conduit all the way through. Now we come to the nightmare. Okay, underneath here are these scrivets. You can see them there. There's one up there. There. The little plasticky screw things. Unfortunately, with the ranges, some have them, some don't. These actually have. Oh, you can't even see them, for God's sake. They're there, one there, and one there. I'll try and get some focusing on them. There they are, one there and one there. They're actually metal rivets. So there's a screw there, and then there's 3 scrivets. It's a bit hard to see. Some focus in. Here we go. 3 scrivets, 1, 2. No, you're not going to see that. That's not focusing probably. But there's basically. Oh, now I gotta refocus the damn thing. Once again, of course, Mr. Super Professional. Scrivet there. Scrivet there. Scrivet there. And then underneath there's a bloody. Where is it? Metal one, just there. Try and hope that's focusing. Just there. So I'm not super happy with this little bit of exposed conduit here. I tried to run it up through here, but I'm not going to go drilling out metal rivets and stuff. I'm just going to leave them alone. Pulling this out, I actually shows you how thin the things have actually bent part of my wheel arch. I'm just going to tap that in with a little wooden hammer. But now the maniac part, getting it up through here, you have to go in this direction. Now, the guys on the forum told me that yeah, there's a space, but they didn't go into too many details. So I'm going to show you inside. I'm not going to take this apart. You basically have to go in that direction and then up. Now how I did that, I have to take this off. Oh, let's just quickly take this off. Soft smoke. Okay, that's the kit. Alrighty, can we even see what the hell's going on? That chain's my dog. I'm just going to tap it to see if it focuses. Okay, this had to be removed, and then under here is the gap. Okay, so this little plastic thing just clips off. You can lift this up. It's got the wiring harness for the rear mounted stoplight and the lights, the tub lights. This had to be pulled down, and I basically just, I'll put you out of there. I don't know if that's a bit focused or not, bloody not. My professional videos on it. So I basically had to feed I tried everything. I tried a piece of wire from up here, I tried rope, and in the end I got it with a bit of whippersnipper cord. Fed it through, found it in the end, pulled that out, taped that to the end. Now I've taken all the wires off that I'd used to feed through, taped that to the end and got it to here. And I just got the missus to help me. She was feeding it in as I was pulling it up. So we'll go around and have a look. There's my dog. What you doing, girl? What are you doing? Say hello to everybody. You're chewing on a bit of cardboard. She's a kitty. She's a rescue dog. I've had her about a year. Okay. Actually, I might do it this way. I'm not going to take the tonneau cover off because it's a pain in the bum. Oh, so we'll climb in here. Alright. She thinks we're going for a drive. No. Down you get, girl. Good girl. Okay, you can see that better there. That was the thing that we had to remove. That now it just clips down, as I said. That rubber thing folds back. Now I've just looped the cable up. Now as you can see, I was going to run conduit all the way, but the conduit I got I think it was 20 mil. So it's quite big because I knew these are two 6B, I think they're 6 or 8 mil cables, and then they have their own covering on the outside from the factory as well. So yeah, so couldn't do it, had to cut it off, just sort of in here somewhere. I've just sort of shoved it up as best I could. Okay, it's come out under here, under the side of the tub, and in between the tub liner, factory tub liner, and under the tub, and I've just looped it over like that, and it runs. Don't mind the orange strappy thing, that's just temporary, I'm just sorting all that out. And that runs down to my mounting hook, my load hook, comes around there, and then I don't know if you can see it, I'll go in a bit further. Oh bloody hell! It connects to the side here, alternator input. It's just at the rear. Sorry, that's unregulated solar. I apologise. It's at the rear can see it, it might not be focusing, I can't see the screen, but it basically connects to there. Now I ran the car up just to let you know, this is a Ranger. It's a 2016 XLT PX Mark II, so it's got the Sync 3 and all that sort of fancy nonsense, but it does have the Smart Charge. So for those of you that were wondering, you know, Smart Charge is where the alternator gets turned off and on and can lower and raise the voltage based on load and all that sort of stuff. It's all this new emissions bullshit. So you can't use the standard, you know, the old school VSR, voltage sensitive relay. You have to use the DC-DC charger, which I saw in the main video on this. But I just wanted to also, just quickly, we'll see, get a bit of focus there. Still sitting at 12.8. So I ran it yesterday after I installed it to make sure everything works. Oh, by the way, just mentioned too, in the engine bay. Hey, let's have a look here. In the engine bay, oh God, what a look! I'm almost a supermodel. In the engine bay, just remember when I connected it up in the engine bay, I tested the ends with my multimeter just to make sure I'd got power. Because the last thing I wanted to do was run all this cable to the rear of the tub and then not have power, because it was a pain in the ass getting it through the chassis rail. I had the missus out to help me and so on. So as soon as I connected that first bit to the battery, I just double checked it at the Anderson plug there, and then I couldn't connect, so I couldn't connect it obviously running it. I don't know why I'm talking to you under the tub, but it's actually kind of cozy in here. I need to get a mat though. Like, I had a bit of carpet in here, it got all mouldy and yuck for the dog, so when she's in here she can't, you know, because this is raised, she can't stand on it properly. So I'm going to get a bit of rubber matting. And that's for her too, in case there's another little thing. I'll just throw that out if you're wondering how to do stuff in a ute. I've got 2 clips on the end, one of those turnbuckles to adjust the chain. Oh, roll over me guts, which I've got heaps of. Oh, to the other side, it's just a little clip. And then this is just the centre. These are all on spindles. Okay, and I've just used this style. Sorry, it's going to be noisy. I've just used this style of clip. And there's just enough for her to get, she's trying to jump up because she can hear the chain. There's just enough for her to get up on here, put her paws up on here and stick her head out when the tyre, absolutely have to have the tonneau cover off. And yeah, she isn't any wider than the mirrors, which is always good. Okay, so, sorry, yeah, so I found that out. I think I found it on a guy's Ford ute for him, and I've just nicked it off him. And having the turnbuckle down the end means you can, you know, tighten it up if you want. Alright, so starting to run her. Here she's got up here. What are you doing? Look at you. Say hi to everybody. Hey. Oh, she's going to lick me. Help, help. Help, I'm being attacked. Alright, Bella, come on. Out. Come on. Oi. Get out of here. Go. Come on, out. Out. Good girl. Get out. Have to be a bit strong with her sometimes. She's a roadies and Ridgeback cross staffy, so she can be very independent. Yeah, so battery box is in. Haven't connected the fridge to it or anything yet. Will you? Sit still, good girl. Haven't connected the fridge to anything yet. Like I was saying, I did run it yesterday. I'll just make sure, yeah, a couple of things. You don't connect the wires, obviously, and then run the cable through the, wherever you're going to connect it, whether you're going to put it on top of the chassis rail or through it, like I did. Obviously, because that would then make that cable live, obviously. So, you know, so you're going to have the ends arcing out your system. So I didn't connect it, so I couldn't test, obviously, that part of the connection until I had it in here, obviously. But I mean, like doing it at the battery end, you know, I knew I had continuity. I knew the Anderson plugs were going to work and the cable was going to work. The only reason I shouldn't have power here was if I damaged the cable when I installed it, or it got accidentally cut or something like that, which thankfully didn't happen. So yeah, 12.8. Ran it, like I was saying, with the Smart Charge. Can't use a VSR, have to use a DC-DC. You can get your manufacturer, whoever it is, Toyota, Ford, to turn it off, but some charge, some don't. It's really ambiguous. But once you put the DC-DC charger on, you can just leave your Smart Charge enabled, doesn't matter. Okay, ran the car, and this went up to 14.4, and this was saying charging and the right mode and all that sort of stuff. So it worked pretty well. So yeah, so there you go, guys. That's the whole KickAss system. The only thing I've got left to show you now is the fridge in the back and the solar panels once I get them set up. And once again, I think I forgot to mention this in the initial, but it's on his website as well. These battery boxes can take unregulated solar, because that DC-DC charger's got a MPII or something solar charger converter thing in it, which means you can just jam a solar panel straight in. Now, without a DC-DC charger, or sorry, without the controller, solar controller, you can't charge these style batteries directly off your solar panel. Is no good for them, apparently. Not that I know any why or anything, but yeah, I didn't go into it. So, but she seems to be working well. So as you can see, plenty of space for the fridge next to it, and I'll just run that strap around, and then heaps more space for my other stuff. Okay, we'll get out of here. How am I going to do that with her there? Bella, Bella, down please. Right, yeah, she listens to me just like my wife. All right, thanks very much for watching all. See you later. Bye-bye.